to split my live into 2 parts. It is going to be so much fun. I'm going to tell you about my e-news. I'm going to talk about what's been going on the week before today, and then what's coming up in a week. So this is my live e-news for my business. And again, for those of you who just joined, I'm a home improvement home organizer, and I love to declutter anything. So let's start with the e-news and what's been going on the past week and what's coming up. The latest post on the blog is about spring cleaning your pet care. I know a lot of people out there have pets, so please jump over to my link in profile and hit that post and read it. It's a great list on how to declutter and actually clean out your pet care items, which I don't know if we really think about that. So it's a great post on spring cleaning your pet care, and it is almost summer. I cannot believe that. When is summer? Gosh, it's coming up. Hi, Laura. How are you? You're in Hawaii. I am so jealous. Thanks for joining. So don't forget to jump over to my blog. You can go link in profile. All you got to do is hit the post and read how to spring clean your pet care. Okay. The other thing that I'm going to produce here in a little bit. I've made up a couple of worksheets, and for those of you who don't know, if you subscribe to my blog, you get free worksheets every month. And what's coming up are photos. I'm going to say that again, organizing your photos, both digital and print. And I have gotten so many questions on what do I do with my old photos and how do I organize them so that I can enjoy them. And I've got some great ideas on that. So jump up to the link in profile, join, you get free worksheets, and you get live e-news. I send that out. I go ahead and record this, and I send that out as well. There's also another component to what I do, and that's a monthly declutter club. And for those people who have joined that, and it's a free club, is you get a calendar or an expanded worksheet where you declutter 1 room a month. And this month in June, we decluttered the garage. And I did a couple of lives on that. Now, not everybody has a garage, but most people, when they do have one, they just kind of throw everything in it, like it's a shed. Not a shed. That's where you park your car. Anyway, so we had a worksheet on the garage. Now, what's coming up for the worksheet is going to be photos. So that's for the Declutter Club, and that's coming up. So that's pretty much what's been going on the blog. Again, I do a lot of posts on that here, so everybody gets updates. Jump up to the link in profile, free worksheets, photos are coming up. Oh, and I missed, there's another bonus worksheet on how to clean your grill, how to keep your grill clean and get it ready to go for the summer, because who doesn't like to grill? Party on the patio. So that's coming up in the middle of July. I can't believe I'm saying July. Okay, so that's what is going on the blog. There's the e-news. Now, the second part of this is really, really fun. It's called Dear Rebecca. And I just launched a really cool idea about a week ago, and I talked to a lot of my fellow bloggers about this, and they're real popular here on Instagram, and they loved the idea. I've had a couple of groups on Facebook, real prominent groups, ask me to do live Dear Rebecca's for them based on this idea. And what it is it's like Dear Abby. I posted here for the first time on Instagram last Friday, and I opened it up and just said, I'm launching Dear Rebecca. You can ask me any question you want. I don't care what it is, as long as it's clean. Got to keep it clean. And just go ahead and ask. It could be about home organization, decluttering. It could be about me. Get to know me. It's time to get to know Rebecca. And I plan on doing this pretty regularly, but this was the first time, and I got over 100 comments, and they're still coming in. So this is the first live of Dear Rebecca. And what I'm going to do is I am going to take some of the questions that I got asked, and I'm going to read them to you. And I have way too many to read them all, and I really apologize. But what I want to do is just read a few, and then maybe next time I can read more. But let's start off. Barbie says, Dear Rebecca, what's the longest motorcycle trip you have ever taken? Now, for those of you who don't know me, let me give you a little bit about me. My husband and I are avid Harley riders. We have a Harley with a 2015 bike. It's a tri-glide. And I have this wonderful seat that's like a lazy girl that I get to sit in and listen to music and sip my favorite beverage while we ride around sightseeing, and I love it. So what's the longest trip, Barbie? Back in 2002, we had a different Harley back then. It was the 100-year anniversary, and we went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin from Kansas City. And it was a blast, absolute blast. So that's the longest trip we've taken on the motorcycle, and it was great. The next question comes from Allison, all the way from Ireland. And she says, how do you keep the clutter out once cleared out, and how do you get the kids to put away their own stuff? Okay, this is actually easier than it sounds. How do you keep things from getting cluttered again? You have to do what you do like anything else, a routine. You have to develop a very simple routine, and you have to get the kids involved, and you have to get them, I hate to say this word, trained, or you have to teach them how to regularly put things away. Everything has its place, but they won't know that that's expected, and they won't know where to put it if you don't take time with them. And I say kind of every week, and put a calendar on the wall, put all the kids' names with stars and happy faces, and get them involved in decluttering their special areas, their art room, their playroom, their own bedrooms, of course. If you get them used to it and get them in and having fun with it, they'll love it. And of course it depends on their age, but I think Allison has some tiny kids. But I would say you can start them as soon as they start toddling. You could start working with them. Kids love, by the time they get to toddling and like second or third or fourth grade, they really love to help. And then they start to become teenagers, and it might get a little challenging. But just keep the faith. Keep working with them. Okay, and the next, let's see, what's the next glaring question here? Inquiring minds want to know. I have a large kitchen, but never have adequate room for cookware. Would it be wise to purchase some pull-outs for them? Okay, for cookware, it's a little heavy, so pull-outs might tip. But what I love, because I have a tiny kitchen, is I have them in my Amazon store. There's a link in profile. If you hit that, go to the Amazon store and hit kitchen. They're wonderful stacking pan shelves. And I would have ripped it out, but I have to take all my pans out to do that. But it's a very simple, inexpensive shelf that articulates up and down, and you can stack all your pans in it. And it's probably about 2 feet tall. So I have it under my kitchen sink, and all of my pans fit in it. And I can reach right under and pull them out and stick them right back when they're clean. So I recommend stacking kind of shelves rather than pull-outs. Okay, the next question is, what's the best thing to do with kids' art projects? They're so proud of them, but I don't need, and she says, like a bazillion of them. Well, of course, this is a real interesting question. For the most prized art, I would let the kids help you pick out what their favorites are. Let each one pick out their top 5 or 6. Okay, I'm assuming they have an art room or their own room where they can put them on the wall. So like a cork board, and you can put them on the wall. And then everything else if you want to box up some and keep them, that's great for archive. But I would say do a digital photo book of them. Take wonderful pictures of their art and put them in photo books. You could put them on the coffee table, and everybody comes over. You got like a victim there, like an audience. You could just say, "Hey, have you seen my kids' art?" And you could pull out, and they're captive. It's wonderful. Everybody sits there and looks at the kids' art. Fabulous. Try to take digital photo books. It helps keep it organized. And then we have a question. How do you keep Tupperware organized? Lana sent this one. Tupperware is pretty easy. I like to, first of all, throw away anything that's older than 2 years old. BPA. Throw it away. Okay. What I did was I went through and threw all mine away that were older than 2 years, and I got uniform Tupperware in about 4 different sizes that stack up tall. And then the lids, I just put in a big baggie by size, and I just stack them right beside it so I can reach under, and they're all stackable, so they're not just flying all over the place. Now you may have some different sizes of Tupperware, but they should stack pretty well. But that's what I did, because again, a small kitchen, I'll have limited space. Let's see, what's the next burning question? Oh, of course, now Cindy asked, how do you organize photos? Old photo albums. Now, I've done some really old scrapbooks. And Cindy, I have just taken my most precious. I did this for the men in my family, actually, for my husband and his sons. And I made a scrapbook. And I just bought an old-fashioned scrapbook with the little corners, and I put the original photos in there, and I scanned them so that if anything happened to them, I have a backup. That's real important. And I took those little old-fashioned corners, those little sticky corners, and I put them in there. I didn't even write anything. I just put them all on in pages, and it's really, really archival looking, very simple to do. That's something you can do with your old photos. The other thing you can do is you can preserve those old photos, put them away in archival material, but first scan them. You could scan them and have pages of different photos together and make a storybook. You could scan them in. There's different websites, photo websites where you can scan your pictures and they'll make the book for you. And they're really beautiful, simple, thin books. Again, you can go on your coffee table. Okay, you've got an audience there. You can show everybody those old photos. So if you don't have time to scan them, well, you can hire somebody to scan them. I don't know how many you're talking about. I have lots. And I've only scanned a few at this point. If you have lots, there are companies that do that. But I recommend just doing a little at a time and only pick really the most important ones. But those old scrapbooks, those old scrap photo books are the best. Okay, so the last question is, what's the best way to go paperless? Well, the best way to go paperless, of course, on all your bills is to sign up for paperless billing, and you get everything via email. I think that's just as safe as regular mail, probably more safe than regular mail. The other thing that I would do is on all of your business, try to have everything electronically sent to you, but make sure if it's anything financial that it's encrypted and that your accounts are hidden, the account numbers and your name, because you don't want that stuff flying around. The other thing too is for your paper, and I plan on doing a really, really wonderful live and a worksheet on paper organization, just focusing on paper. So I'm going to save most of that information as it'll be coming up in a couple of months. But for the most part, if you can, get out all of your taxes that you're keeping, all of your financial records, and scan them onto a thumb drive. Just scan them, and you only need to keep so many years of everything, and I'm going to cover that in another live about organizing paper. Once you get caught up, it's real easy to do it once a month. You can just stick it in the scanner, scan, goes on the thumb drive. You can have a thumb drive for different things too. It makes it easy. Separate it out, taxes, bank, retirement, all that kind of thing. Very simple. So those are some of the, some of the really interesting questions. I think they're all interesting, but some of them are common questions that people might be interested in. So the last part of this is it's get to know Rebecca time. And I thought I would just share a couple of fun things about me, and then I have a testimonial I want to read from a very, very nice once a month declutter club member named Deborah, and she sent me a wonderful email. And it really, you don't hear from your members a lot on how things are going. I have a few that do before and after pictures and post them. I just love you. Loretta, I love you. Loretta Sayer, she's introspective adventure storyteller. You've got to follow her. Anyway, she's always doing before and after. Jody Flagomo, she does them. I just love it. But going back to a little about me. Well, I'm a Harley rider. Actually, my husband is. I don't drive them, even though I need to learn, because if something happens, I need to learn how to drive it. The other thing is, I'm a dog lover. If you watch my lives, and I hope you do, I don't have loads and loads, so you don't have to sit there for a long time, but I do lots on Mopi. I have a 6-year-old Yorkie, and he is just adorable. He's actually asleep. I can't believe it. Normally he's just yep. He's asleep. I cannot believe it. I'm an avid gardener on my blog, and I've done lives. I not only have a declutter and home organization category, but I have the green thumb. And I have some pretty big gardens. I have a herb garden, vegetable garden, a flower garden, a butterfly garden, and it keeps me really busy, and it's kind of hard to keep up in the summer with my blog and my business, but I love it. And I do lives here as well on that. So I love to garden. And I've gotten it down. I mean, it's not, at first it was so taxing setting up all the gardens. Once you get them in, And it's so easy just to put them back in and run them all, all the way through. I think I keep until almost November. I have stuff still growing. I'm a pretty good cook. I have another category on my blog and business called The Green Kitchen. And there's a post coming up in about a week that I'm so excited about. I'm going to use my Instant Pot to make yogurt. Now, I have done a lot of research on this before I started making yogurt in my Instant Pot. And I'll tell you, the YouTube videos and some of the posts I saw, it just wasn't right. There's something a little too complicated about them. So I ran across this great post by the New York Times Cooking. Oh, I love that. I love that. And there was an accurate, more easy way to make yogurt. Now I'm telling you, this yogurt is the bomb. It is like a really luxurious sour cream, but it's not sour. It's just really thick, creamy yogurt. I absolutely love it. So my next post is going to be about making homemade organic yogurt in my Instant Pot. And I didn't do a video, but I took lots of pictures, and you will not believe how easy it is. Hi, Fashionable Rosie. How are you, darling? Happy day. Happy Wednesday. We're talking about homemade yogurt now. My next post is going to be making homemade yogurt. Now, my husband eats this up so fast, and I use it in so much cooking. I have to make a gallon at a time, and that gallon goes in about 4 days. So I'm making yogurt all the time. Another thing, okay, what's my favorite meal? We're doing Get to Know Rebecca, Rosie. My favorite meal, I have to say, tacos. Tacos anyway. I love tacos. What's my favorite movie? Calendar Girls, of course. One of the funniest movies of all time. I love Calendar Girls. Okay, what's my favorite series? Now, I have a new one. It's called Proven Innocent. If you haven't watched it, it's on Hulu. Oh, it's good. It's really good. Proven Innocent. And I also love Live PD. I'm stuck on that. Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, Rosie, it's easy. Do you have an Instant Pot, Rosie? Because Instant Pot just makes it really super easy. Otherwise, it's just too complicated. What's my favorite book? I don't have a favorite book. I love The Lord of the Rings, and I'd read them all again in a flash. I absolutely love them. So that's a little bit about getting to know me. And the last part of this is a very sweet testimonial I got from one of my members. And she is in the Declutter Club. We do one room a month, like I said before. And Debbie says, wow, what I did was I had some members post before and after pictures on Instagram. And we were doing bedrooms. And they did bedrooms and bathrooms. And they did a fabulous job of taking pictures before and after the declutter, and we posted them up on Instagram, and I downloaded those, and I did an actual newsletter that I sent out. And Debbie says, wow, these pictures are great, Rebecca. I didn't think to take any before or after pics. My kitchen cabinets now look great. I'm still working on decluttering the counter space. I really need what I have out, and it's only me that lives here, so I'm content. My bedroom closet is now organized and looks great, but I'm still working on some of the dresser drawers. And those magazines that pile up on the floor that I don't have time to read, I'm still working on that. Thanks so much for your ideas and thoughts. This is great. So I love hearing from folks out there. If you have any kind of praise, please send it in. You can send it to me directly here in a direct message on Instagram. You can send me an email. All that information is in my profile. And I just want to thank everybody for coming today and listening to my e-news and the launch of Dear Rebecca. It's like the Dear Abby of home organization. It's going to be so much fun. I'm probably going to do it about every 2 weeks to start off with. I don't want to get too overwhelmed because we have lots and lots of great comments. So I'm gonna get off the live right now, but I want to let you know what you should do from here. Go to my link in my profile, sign up for free worksheets. You'll get all my posts. I only post once a week. Isn't that great? Who wants to get 5 emails once a week? And then I do lives on my posts. I even do little classes and demonstrate. So you get free worksheets. What do you got to lose? And you have everything to gain. You'll also get notified when I go live, and everything else that goes along with the greatest and latest in home organization. So We'll see you next time. I'm going to jump on next week and give you some more answers to Dear Rebecca. So don't miss that. Stay tuned. Bye, y'all.